will get bitten,
yes,
and you will have to be sent to hospital. I can identify any of the snakes here in the Mediterranean, so I can obviously handle them, but usually it would be best to have the authorities deal with it.
Okay.
This being a ladder snake, once we've had a look at it on this program, I'll be releasing her back into the wild, which is around my house, so he can go back into his habitat. They're so-called ladder snakes because of this pattern which runs dorsally above the snake, which basically resembles a ladder. In larger individuals, adults, it tends to disappear, and they are more of an olive brown snake without the ladder markings. The younger they are, the juveniles, the darker and more prominent the ladder pattern is.
Okay.
In fact, this snake, the ladder snake, is kept as a pet in the United States.
Is it?
So we're going to look at some other friends, and we'll put this ladder snake away.
I'll be breathing easily then.
She's actually quite well behaved, really, considering it's a wild snake and it's never been handled before.
Yeah.
Let's look at something else.
You've obviously got the touch for them.
Thanks. Okay, here we have an interesting little friend. This is a salamander.
Oh.
Okay, and this is actually the sharp-ribbed salamander found here in the Mediterranean region. This is prominent here in Andalusia. It's one of the largest salamanders found here. This is a juvenile. They can grow up to about 20 centimeters. So it's a fair-sized salamander. And again, this one lives in my garden. So I found him in my garden. Actually, there's several salamanders in my garden. So I thought I'd bring him in to show you, so that if you do see one of these, you'll know what it is. It is the sharp-ribbed salamander, and it's so called because it has the pinkish rib markings on its side. It has a larger, robust head for a salamander, which identifies this as Pleuroides walti, the sharp-ribbed salamander. A more striking salamander found in the region is the fire salamander. Again, the fire salamander is covered in my book, Poisonous Creatures, and is a poisonous salamander. It's brightly colored in aposematic coloration. It's black with orange or yellow markings. Now let's look at a poisonous animal, but not that dangerous. There's a difference.
Oh, is it a toad?
That's right. There's a difference between poisonous animals and dangerous animals. You see, an animal can be poisonous, like this natterjack toad. However, it doesn't mean that it's particularly dangerous, because it's only dangerous if we eat him. So as long as we not eat him, he's fine. And
he's quite cute for a toad.
Yes, I actually like toads. Again, this one also lives in my garden. I have several toads in my garden because I've created a little wildlife garden for amphibians, obviously purposefully, and it has attracted the toads and the salamanders, which occasionally also wander into the house. So I have to pick them up and then put them back into the garden. And yes, the natterjack toad is one of the smaller toads. This is probably an adult now. And we recognize this by a dorsal stripe running down its back. A large toad found here is the green toad, which is bright green. So again, being spring, you might see one. And another interesting toad to look out for is the western spadefoot, but they usually tend to burrow a lot, so are seldom seen.
Okay.
A very interesting toad found here is the vociferous midwife toad, and that is the smallest toad to be found in the region. In fact, it looks a bit like a frog because it has rather large eyes. And the midwife toad doesn't breed in water like the other toads do. In fact, the female lays the eggs on the male's back, who carries them around until they hatch. And once they hatch, they are fully formed. They are not tadpoles, so they are little toads.
Right.
And that's why it's called the midwife toad.